Okay, today we're going to take a look at a high school thrower from Virginia. His name's, if I don't say this right, I'm sorry, Daouda. And let's take a look at a few of his throws here. He's got two different angles he sent me. Okay, he says in his Twitter post he's working on his sweep leg, so let's just take a look at what we got. Both these are synchronized, so they're going to play together here. Let's see. But I can play them individually too. Alright, so here's the right foot coming off. That all looks good. Trying to see if the knees are apart. The video on the right, I see the foot pointing downward. You want that foot horizontal. You want that toe pointing outward. And you can see it on the right video too. I'm sorry, the left video. Both videos are showing it. Go back here. Yeah, you can see the foot's downward. Yeah, the toe's pointing down here. So try to get that horizontal, so the toe's kicking out toward 9 o'clock there, or aim that direction. That'll keep your knees apart. See, it'll keep your, because your foot's pointing downward, so the knee's kind of downward here. If you bring that toe out, you'll see the knee will come out, and then your knees will be farther apart, and you'll be able to be more rotational. Let the left arm get past the left knee a little bit here. I personally try to avoid that until we get down here to 6 o'clock. I like to see the left arm and left knee arrive at 6 at the same time, because I think that gets when you get the left arm past the knee like that. Shot put, it's okay because that's a lot more rotational. But in a discus, it tends to, I think, bring the upper body around too soon. And then you get into the 12 o'clock position here, and usually you're more open. Now let's take a look at the video on the left here. Okay, so your hips are facing 12 o'clock, and this discus is way ahead. And I think that's from opening up early at the beginning, getting that left arm past the left knee. This discus should be out here about 6 o'clock, and your chest should be facing 3 o'clock, which is over here. Okay, so you've lost a lot of separation here. Everything else looks pretty good. Okay, separation, of course, I mean, you want your hips facing 12 o'clock, and you want your chest facing 3 o'clock as much as you can. All right, so let's take a look at the how you come off. Let's start it back to the beginning here. Okay, left knee's dropping. Sweep leg can come out a little wider, and you never fully straighten the sweep leg either. You want to get that long, and because that's the technique you're using. You're using the technique where you have a long sweep leg here, so you want to go ahead and extend that out. Trying to see if that discus is getting ahead of your body, but it looks like it's behind. You want to try to keep this right hip looking at this video on the right. You want to keep that right hip ahead of that right shoulder, but it looks like your right shoulder's ahead. Again, that's from pulling your upper body ahead of that left arm ahead of that left knee. Okay, so got the discus at a nice high point. It's level with the shoulders and line, so that looks good. You don't look like, I'm looking at where your foot's landing. It doesn't look like you get very far across the circle, and I'm not sure why, because you keep that left knee low. So yeah, I think you're driving in. You never really get this right foot kicked out past this right knee, and then underneath. So I think you're losing a little bit of momentum there. So you're just kind of leading with that knee into the circle. Let me take a look at the video on the left. Yeah, it doesn't quite straighten out. Hard to tell, but yeah, here too, you're not quite landing past. I mean, the only way you're going to get across the circle is to get past the center point, the center line of the circle. So, all right. I can't quite see in the video here on the right where the end of the circle is, but it looks like you're pretty far back. Again, if you drive further into the circle, you get your left foot a little bit closer. You'll gain a couple more feet in your final distance. All right, so let's take a look here. I like to look at when the left toes come down, which is right here. Okay, you got this knee facing 9. I like to have the knee open, but the next frame you get it open right here. So that looks pretty good. And when that toe touches, I like to see that discus back behind this right heel. So you've got more separation. I can't really see it in this video. Let's take a look at the one on the left. When the left toes come down, where is that discus? Right here. Okay, so your discus is way over here. About 2 o'clock, I'd say. You want that discus behind the heel, which should be, this foot should be facing probably about 9 o'clock. So that heel's about 3. You want that discus out about 3 o'clock, then somewhere over here. But it looks like it's pretty far ahead, meaning, as you can almost see here, between your hips and your shoulders, you don't have too much separation here. Looks like you have more separation on this one here in the right video. So maybe it's not something that's consistent. But now that you know about it, you can watch and look for it. So when that left toe lands, you want that discus back at least by right about here, about 3 o'clock, behind the right heel. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning again. Okay, so he landed, coming around, left toes have landed. On the video on the left, I think I saw that you were, right here. It looks like it's a late extension of that leg, and almost looks like your hips are forward, angled forward. Let's take a look on the video on the right here. You never want that knee to go out past the toes. You want it to be vertical as much as possible. And let's take a look what happens here. You can see the knee is coming out over the toes here. That's going to give you a late block, and it's going to let the hip shift forward. Okay, and then your upper body's kind of going to have a forward lean to it. Yeah, you can see right there the knee is still over the foot. Yeah, right here. So you want to get a full extension. Before that discus is released, you want to get that left leg fully extended. Let's see in the left video what point you fully extend it. Right there, just as you're releasing it. So that's a little closer. Okay. Just something to think about. Try to, don't let that knee. On the left video, I don't see the knee coming out over the toes as much as on the video on the right. So just something you have to work on, because it's not it's something you're doing consistently. Okay. On this video on the right, what I'm watching is the discus and then your hand. So you can barely see it, but the discus is here and there's your hand, and they're in the same line. So it looks good. You've got a little bit of the chest up, the head up. That's good. So you're throwing up at an angle in line with your chest. Okay. And like I messaged you earlier, I like to see the arm continue upward. But what I'm looking for here is, the discus releasing with the hand. Now take a look at the video on the left here. Watch as soon as you release it. Okay, you see the discus is here, but your hand is up here above it. Okay, and I think that might be because your body's more vertical, so you're scooping the discus upward with your hand. You'll see your hand continues upward. Okay, here's the next thing. You don't want to bend that elbow like this right away. I see that in people that keep their eyes on the discus. You don't turn the shoulders, and you just kind of arm throw it and wing it, and by bending at the elbow, and you'll get a much better throw if you turn the head, keep the arm in line with the shoulders, and turn the shoulders, and keep the arm straight. It almost looks like your right arm is bent right here a little bit. So keep the arm as long as you can. You want to get the maximum radius, so you want to keep it straight. And then don't bend the elbow after you release it. Keep it straight with the shoulders. And then this is good. You've got on the left video, you've got the hand coming upward. That's good. Okay. All right. It's pretty much repeating the things I messaged you about. But yeah, watching the right hip. Looks pretty good. Okay. If you make any changes, send me another video and we'll take a look. All right. Thanks.